Napoleon Bonaparte, cock of the walk, until Waterloo when he lost. Who'd have thought? For the next 6 years on Helena he lived, until arsenic forced him his soul to submit. Then his cock was chopped off, it was plucked, you might say, and it ended up in the old US of A. But the story gets weirder, hold on to your drawers. This is astounding.
This is Past Force.
1815. Napoleon de Bonaparte, to give him his proper name, is defeated by a European coalition at the Battle of Waterloo. Now, as if the Duke of Wellington shagging his sister wasn't humiliating enough, the British decide to send him to the remotest island possible. And remote, in this instance, is an understatement, because this is St. Helena. It is literally in the middle of the South Atlantic. It is one of the most remote islands on Earth. The British government, they're taking no chances. They don't want Napoleon to escape. They want him done with. They want to make sure Napoleon is never seen again. Now, there were rumours that the British government were trying to kill him, trying to hasten his death. And there are reports that Napoleon himself believed this. Even the Times allegedly got in on the act, accusing the government of trying to kill Napoleon off. The house where he lived on St. Helena, Longwood House, it was cold, it was drafty, it was on the edge of somewhere called Deadwood Plain, and it was infested with rats. It was literally a kind of hellhole. A hellhole on a hell island in the middle of nowhere. In 1822, Napoleon's doctor, Dr. Barry O'Meara, wrote a book called Napoleon in Exile. And in this book he quotes Napoleon as saying, "Your government would willingly have me put to death, but finding the nation would not consent, they sent me here, in order that I might die a death slow enough to appear natural, or in the hope that I might commit suicide." Don't ask me why Napoleon went Russian at the end there. 1821, Napoleon dies. There's some arguments as to how he died. The official cause of death is marked as stomach cancer, but there have been suggestions and scientific analysis which suggests it may have been arsenic in the wallpaper of Longwood House. Not planted there deliberately, arsenic was something they used in wallpaper paste at the time, and maybe it leaked out, poisoned Napoleon, killed him at what is a very young age, 51. But there's no doubt about it. 1821, Napoleon is dead. Then comes the autopsy, which confirms that he had stomach cancer. And there were 18 people at this autopsy, including Dr. Francesco Antomarchi. And it's this guy, in front of 17 witnesses, who allegedly cuts off Napoleon's penis. Why? Perhaps one of the witnesses was egging him on. Perhaps they did it as a kind of humiliation, a kind of dare, a kind of cruel piece of humiliation, a cruel final piece of humiliation for the tyrant of France. I say, old sport, chop his penis off. Ha ha ha, serve him right. Yes, I agree, cut his knob off. But does the penis then get thrown away? Does it get buried with Napoleon? Do they stick it in his mouth as another cruel joke? No. Antomarchi gives it to Napoleon's chaplain, Agni Paul Vignali, who smuggles it back to Napoleon's birthplace, Corsica, and then dies in a blood vendetta in 1828. He then passes it down to his family, and it becomes the family cock. And the first person he gives it to is his sister. Allegedly, it then gets passed down through the Vignali family for 100 years until 1916, when it is sold at auction in London and bought by a bookseller, Maggs Brothers Limited. Why does a bookseller want Napoleon's penis? Well, it's Napoleon's penis. Everybody's going to want Napoleon's penis. It's valuable. It's the penis of one of the most famous men in history. It's going to be valuable. And some people are just weird. In 1924, it is sold again to an American man from Philadelphia, Dr. A.S. Rosenbach, who puts it on display in the Museum of French Art in New York, where people come to laugh at it and joke about how tiny and shriveled and leathery this thing is. And then it disappears. It's not heard of again until 1977. In 1977, it's bought by a urologist, Dr. John J. Latimer. Latimer is a strange fellow. He was involved with JFK's autopsy. He allegedly had Lincoln's blood-stained collar from when he was assassinated. And he was also a doctor to the Nazis at Nuremberg, where he allegedly stole some of their personal items, including Hermann Goering's cyanide capsule and his underwear. Don't ask me why you'd want Hermann Goering's shit-stained wife, I've no idea. But allegedly, he had Hermann Goering's shit-stained wife fronts. Latimer's family claim that they still have the penis in their possession, though only 10 people have allegedly seen it, because Latimer wanted to take it out of circulation because people were laughing at it. Although, is it really Napoleon's penis? Well, let's look at the facts. It's not seen or heard of between 1927 and 1977. What is sold in 77 could be anything. What is sold in 1924 could be anything. What's sold in 1916 could be anything. There's no evidence that what is sold is definitively Napoleon's penis. At any of the free auctions it is sold at. It is just claimed to be. And there's no evidence at all that his cock was chopped off in the first place. For all we know, this story could be a load of old bollocks.
History! It's a thing of the past!
It's a thing of the past.